Hello, mate. So, caravan servicing. What's involved, and do you need to get your Tourer serviced? Well, there's two main areas of concern. Firstly is one of safety, because they would check things like the hitch, the chassis, the tyres, the brakes, and the gas system in the van. And secondly, one of warranty, because if you don't get it serviced on time, you could invalidate your warranty. So to find out exactly what is involved in a caravan service, the brave folks at Stowford Caravan Centre have somehow agreed to let me be Workshop Apprentice for the day. Hence my rather grubby t-shirt that's got holes in it. Also, to make things easier for the workshop team, I've emptied out as much as I can in the caravan just to make sure that they can access all the corners. Because the caravan's still in warranty, you know, if there are any problems to be found, I want to make sure that we find them while it's still in that warranty period. And secondly, if you're looking behind thinking you're on a caravan pitch, Stowford Caravan Centre, because it's on the same site as Stowford Farm Meadows, they'll offer you a free night's accommodation, and in the morning they'll come and collect it from the pitch. You go out and enjoy yourself, and by the time you come back they'll have serviced it, brought it back to your pitch, and it's ready for you. So all I'm doing now is waiting for Aaron to come and collect the Phoenix. So Aaron picked up the Phoenix from the site this morning. We're now in the workshop. The service sheets I've got divided into 6 main areas, and these are chassis and running gear, electrical systems, water systems, fixtures and fittings, gas, and the all-important damp check. Now I'll also be helped by Ken Bruce. He's on radio 2 behind me at the moment, and as this is an 8-bay workshop with lots of work going on, you might hear some various bits and pieces that are going on behind the scenes.
Scanning our job number, and then we are logged on, ready to go.
We're beginning with important parts of the service, so I thought it best to leave Aaron to it. The gas system is checked for leaks and the date on the hose inspected. My hookup lead is checked for polarity, resistance and damage. And then we conduct an RCD test and a polarity test inside the caravan. With the electrics tested, we move on to the water. The system is filled, the water heater tested, and the heating inside the caravan is also switched on. Right, Aaron's finally found a good use for me, and it's moving cushions. So my first real job, after all the hard stuff's been done and the electrical and that sort of thing, is just making sure that everything's fairly clear for him. Because if there is any damp, to be fair, I'd rather he found it now. So now we're moving on to the damp test. What's the first thing that you would do or look for?
Sometimes you can actually physically see drip marks. If, for example, this locker door had leaked, you might see that there was some dirt accumulated in a puddle, or there's drips on the wall or something.
Okay.
If there was a small gap here as well between the liner and the edge of the wall, you might actually be able to physically see the ply underneath.
Okay.
And that will show up if there's any staining on there from the previous leak.
Okay. And where are you going to check with your meter? Because I believe you run this one along the wall, and then if so, you can double check it with the probes.
Yes. So with Bailey's, their wall is actually completely free of wood. So the only thing that can soak up the wood is the floor now.
Oh, okay.
We've got a scanner function on this one, which you can sort of just run along.
So will that go through the lino as well then?
It will, yeah.
Okay.
And if there's any patch, then it will flag it up. It does pick up floor bolts and stuff as well, so anything metallic will also show up.
Oh, okay.
So you do need to just sort of bear in mind and use your head a little bit as to what the reading may flag up.
Okay. Can I also apologise for leaving some stuff in here? I said in the introduction that I was going to empty this all out. Yeah, I couldn't get that box out, so I left it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that in your way?
I'll move it around as necessary.
Okay.
I've seen far worse.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so with the scanner you can obviously check vast areas quite quickly, but in terms of actually recording it, actually use the probes. Go somewhere where it's not too visible that you're probing.
Okay.
And then
can you tell us out the way, because it's fairly dark in there?
yeah. So there we've got a reading of around 15, 16. So
okay. Now, can we discuss readings? Because there's a lot been said as to what readings are okay and what needs to be looked at and what needs to have work done. So, with that reading of 16, where does that fall?
So as you see on here, that was showing a green light.
Okay.
I don't know if I can make it. With my hand there. So
it's so sensitive that you can get it to fail a test with the moisture on your hand.
In theory, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to keep your hands clear of it. But as you see there, it starts changing yellow sort of around 17, 18.
Okay.
This is an area you might just start to think, is there anything going on there? Maybe just have a look, see if there's anything obvious outside. But
okay.
Certainly with Bailey, I know they recognise that a reading up to 23 is acceptable.
Okay.
And actually on our meter there, that's just where it starts to go into the red. So
right. Okay.
Anything 23 and over, we would definitely have to check out and see whether there's a faulty seal on the door or such like.
All right. Okay. But we're all right with 16.
We're all right with 16. That was in the green.
So, happy days.
Yeah, we'll just do it periodically along and record that down on a damp report.
So. Okay. One of the interesting things that Aaron just picked up is how to tell if you've got water ingress in the shower, because if you're using a probe, you can't probe through the plastic of the shower. But with Aaron's magic box of tricks, which will scan through the plastic, now we haven't checked this yet, so we'll see what we get.
Looking okay.
So I can only see green lights at the moment.
Yeah, so I think the highest there was 13.
Oh, okay.
Which is all good. So that's.
Now, are there any areas in a shower that tend to give problems? Is it the sort of the seals around the edge, or?
Yeah, I mean, with a shower unit like this, this whole sidewall is like one sheet with the folds in the corner.
Okay.
But it's sealed to the bottom tray along the edges, so potentially over time this would start to crack perhaps.
Yeah.
And then you'd get it trickling behind, or even sometimes the pipe might leak in behind the wall there, and then eventually it would run down and into the floor.
Okay.
So,
but all's looking good in the shower though, is it?
Looking good there at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing to worry about.
Right, been trusted with something a bit more technical now. So it's silicone spray along the guides on the window. If you can see in there, you see this cable that runs down. It's just a light spray up through the guides to make sure it will run smoothly. With the damp test done, we checked that the hob, grill and oven are burning efficiently. The gas function on the fridge gets checked as well. With the gas running, the regulator pressure is checked, and we also checked the gas vents. The loo is also given a once over. Right, so what we do with the loo?
So just really checking that the flush works.
Okay.
Make sure the blade is open there.
I'm glad I emptied that.
Yeah. So obviously that works fine.
Okay.
And also you've got a fill indicator, haven't you? Which just tells you when the tank's getting full.
Yep.
Now I've got a magnet in the bottom of this torch.
Okay.
I know that if I get it in about the right place, there we go.
Oh, okay.
It actually says it's working. So
part of the water system check is to fully purchase system and check for leaks. Now, as Aaron was just telling me, that if you've got a leak in the system anyway, if it's a pressure system like this one, the pump will just run on and off or continuously, which will indicate a leak. And part of the process of checking the water system is as simple as making sure that there's no water leaking out of here or further along the pipes. We also check the microwave, the charging system for the leisure battery, and replace one of the reading lights. Now the light that goes in this corner has stopped working, so this is going to be replaced under warranty. So I'll just leave that there while we get a new one from the stores. I feel bad now. I'm just going to eat my sausage and chips. Poor Aaron, he's out there plugging in to a 13-pin socket. Right, while my chips are getting cold, I'm out here now checking the lights. Yeah, left indicator. Brakes or fogs, one of the two. Right indicator. Brakes, yeah. Reverse. Full house. So can I carry on eating my chips now? Can we make this process as foolproof as possible, bearing in mind that you're doing one and I'm doing three? So think of an idiot's guide on how to grease up the corner steadies.
Right, basically any pivot point,
Okay.
I would spray some of this spray grease in just to free it up a little bit, make
Okay.
it run smoothly. So any pivots there, the top, the spindle,
Okay.
end of the spindle bit,
Yep.
and a little bit there as well. And then a little extra, just spray the bolts that hold them on, because one day when you want to get them off,
Oh yeah,
and
good.
they're rusted, it's a nightmare.
Good thinking.
And then on the actual spindle bit,
Yep.
a bit of the old grease.
Well, with the hands, the hand and the rubber glove.
With a marigold. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So just all along spindle, not overly thick.
Okay.
Because as it just tends to wind off the end and then drop off anyway. So,
Okay.
and then a little bit there, just in case there is weight on it and it wants to slide against the top
okay.
bit. And then yeah,
So-
that's all you need to do.
Okay. So 3 more of those then.
3 more of those.
Okay. You do know there's a brush in here, or do you just prefer to dip your hands in?
It's different people.
Is it a personal preference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can use it. Go on. No different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, brushes are available apparently. So more greasing at the front, this time around the hitch and the jockey wheel and all that sort of thing. I'm also, there's a guy reversing the Caravan next to me now, so yeah, don't get distracted. He's doing well with that reversing. Did you say the grease in the top there? So, grease in the top. Any on the shaft bit as well, or just in the top?
Yeah, just a little bit on the sides.
Done. Right, so now we're going to talk breakaway cables. What do we have to do or look for here?
Right, obviously quite an important feature, because should it detach from your car,
Yeah.
it needs to pull that handbrake on. So check along its entire length and make sure that the actual cable has not started to chafe through anywhere. Sometimes the outer sheathing will sort of break off a little bit, but the main cable itself needs to be completely sound, and that end hooked in properly and closed up.
Okay.
So it can't come off, and then this end, making sure that that clip does clip back shut when you hook it back on to the car.
So how's that one looking?
It's looking pretty good. It's all springing, no damage, so all good.
Right, I don't know why, but I've been quite looking forward to this. So, well, what do we do to get in and sort the brakes out?
Right. First things first, before I take the wheels off, let's just give the bearings a quick check. If you've taken them off to check the drums anyway, and the brakes, you need to know your bearing's good before you put it back on. So just make sure that there's free rotation and that there's not any play in the bearing.
What are we doing with that?
So the big nut that holds that drum on is under this cap. So we've got a special tool that makes life a lot easier getting it off. It's just the right size, and then swift hit, and off we go.
Yeah, can you do the other one? I was almost too slow to film it. Oh, okay. So then we've got, now that's a single-use nut, I believe, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes.
Okay.
So we have to replace it every time.
Okay. So these just go in the bin, new one every time?
Yep.
Right, so we've got the hub nuts off.
Got the nuts off, so drum should come off fairly easily. So yeah, we're just checking that the condition of the shoes are okay, that there's no chunks missing or deep scoring or anything.
Okay.
Likewise with the drum, there's no scoring in there.
Yeah.
And also that the thickness of the shoes are above 1.6 millimeters. Yeah, which to be fair is fairly rare that they ever wear out.
Okay.
So we'll just get rid of the excess dust in there and clean up the shoes a little bit.
Right.
And the bearing, of course.
And the bearing. It's because you're here. So it must be, what, 5 minutes since you've done the last one, and I've forgotten all the major bits already.
It's a lot to remember.
Well, there is, yeah. Right. Can I get on with the sandpaper in now? How's that? Is that about right?
Yes, that's looking good.
Cool. How's that?
Lovely. Yep.
Splendid. Brake cleaner?
Yep. Have a good wash out.
Okay. Yeah, quite dusty in there. Happy with that?
Lovely.
Right. Copper slip.
Should be just...
Oh yeah.
Pinch that there a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that bit. So there's a bit in there, wouldn't it?
Yep.
How's that?
Yep, beautiful.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've missed something. Or is that it?
I think you're all there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just getting the clumps there. And then we're all good to pop the drum back on.
Are we? Splendid. Ah. I thought I was going to have to ask for help then. After fitting new one-shot nuts, we check the age of the tyres and examine them for cracks or damage. We then refit the wheels. Right, so this is probably one of the most important bits. Torquing up the wheel bolts.
Absolutely.
What What setting should they be set to?
Generally speaking, if it's an alloy wheel, it'll be 130 Newton meters.
Yeah.
Steel wheels, they were a little bit less. In any case, it should tell you either on the weight plate of the van or in the user book. But yeah, generally 130.
With the wheels back on, the brakes are adjusted, the damper and hitch bolts are checked, and grease applied. The hitch pads are checked for wear. The chassis bolts are also checked. Silicone spray is then applied to external door seals. Finally, the wheel bolts are double checked by another technician. Well, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Apologies for not being the best apprentice by eating my sausage and chips and not making you a single cup of tea. But apart from that, how's your day been? Oh, and making him take an extra, what, 3 or 4 hours to do it? So yeah, I don't think I've been the greatest of help, but I've learned a lot.
A few things.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you very much. And
Pleasure.
And also, he's brought it back to the pitch as well, so cracking.
All part of the service.